Welcome back to EnglishNEst Podcast, your safe space to build confidence and master real English conversation. I'm Nancy.
And I'm Steve. Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I was just thinking about a funny memory from my childhood.
Oh, really? What happened?
I once tried to cook dinner for my family when I was 10 years old. It was a disaster.
I want to hear that story. And that's perfect because today we're talking about describing past experiences.
Yes, today we're going to teach everyone how to share their memorable moments and tell stories about the past.
Everyone loves a good story, whether it's a funny moment, a life-changing experience, or a childhood memory. Stories connect us.
Today you'll learn natural phrases like I once, I'll never forget, and how to tell stories that people want to listen to.
Before we start, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And if you love learning with us, hit that like button and share this with a friend.
Now, let's get into today's topic, describing past experiences. Let's start with why stories are so important in conversation.
Stories make conversations interesting. They help people understand you better.
When you share a personal story, you show your personality and emotions.
And people remember stories more than facts.
So, learning how to tell stories in English is a very useful skill.
Exactly. You don't need to be a professional storyteller. You just need a few simple phrases.
Today, we'll teach you those phrases and how to use them. Let's start with the phrase, I once. It's a classic way to begin a story.
I once means at some time in the past. It doesn't matter when exactly.
Examples?
I once met a famous actor at a coffee shop. I once got lost in a foreign city.
What's the difference between I once and one time?
Very similar. One time is more common in casual speech. I once sounds a little more formal.
Examples?
One time I forgot my passport at home. I once went skydiving.
Both are natural. Use whichever you prefer.
You can also use I once to start a story and then continue with past tense.
Another powerful phrase is I'll never forget. This shows the moment was very special.
I'll never forget means the memory is so strong that you will always remember it.
Examples?
I'll never forget the day I graduated. I'll never forget watching the sunset in Santorini.
What's the difference between I'll never forget and I will always remember?
Very similar. I'll never forget is more emotional and common in conversation.
Can you also say I will never forget?
Yes, I will never forget is also correct. I'll never forget is the shortened, more natural version.
What about negative experiences?
You can also use it for negative memories. I'll never forget how embarrassed I felt.
Another great phrase is the most memorable moment was. This is perfect for when you're telling a story and want to highlight the best part.
Examples? The most memorable moment was when we reached the top of the mountain.
The most memorable moment was hearing the crowd cheer.
It helps your listener know what the most important part of your story is.
You can also say the best part was or the most amazing thing was.
Yes, the best part was when we saw the whales. The most amazing thing was that I wasn't scared.
All of these are very natural. Let's learn more ways to start a story about the past.
Here are some great alternatives.
A few years ago for recent past.
Example, a few years ago, I decided to change my career.
When I was a kid for childhood memories.
Example, when I was a kid, I used to spend summers at my grandma's house.
Back in the day, very informal, nostalgic.
Example, back in the day, we didn't have smartphones.
I still remember, clear and personal.
Example, I still remember my first day of school.
You won't believe what happened. Exciting, makes people curious.
Example, you won't believe what happened on my way to work today.
Believe it or not, for surprising stories.
Example, believe it or not, I used to be very shy.
These make your stories more engaging.
Yes, they help capture the listener's attention.
When you tell a story, you need to say things in order. How do you do that?
Use sequencing words. These help your listener follow your story.
What are some sequencing words?
First, the first event. First, I arrived at the airport.
Then, the next event. Then, I took a taxi to the hotel.
After that, another event. After that, I went sightseeing.
Next, another event. Next, we had lunch.
Finally, the last event. Finally, we watched the sunset.
What about using suddenly for unexpected things?
Yes, suddenly it started raining. It creates excitement.
And in the end, for the final result?
In the end, we decided to stay another day.
These make your story clear and easy to follow.
Tell us about a memorable experience from your life.
I'll never forget the day I climbed my first mountain.
Really? When was that?
A few years ago, I went to Switzerland with some friends.
What happened?
We decided to hike up a mountain. I was not very fit at the time.
How did it go?
The first hour was okay, but then it got really steep. I wanted to give up.
But you didn't.
No, my friends encouraged me. We took breaks. Finally, after 4 hours, we reached the top.
How did you feel?
The view was breathtaking. I felt so proud of myself. The most memorable moment was when I looked down and saw the entire valley below.
That sounds incredible.
It was. I'll never forget that moment.
Do you have another story? Something funny?
Yes, I once tried to speak French in Paris, but I accidentally said something very wrong. Your turn. Tell us about a memorable experience.
I once traveled to Australia alone. It was my first solo trip.
That's brave. How was it?
The most memorable moment was when I went scuba diving in the Great Barrier Reef.
Wow, what did you see?
I saw colorful fish, sea turtles, and beautiful coral. It was like being in a different world.
Were you scared?
A little, but the instructor was very calm. After a few minutes, I forgot to be nervous.
What was the best part?
The best part was when a sea turtle swam right next to me. I felt so lucky.
That sounds magical.
It was. I'll never forget the feeling of being underwater surrounded by so much life.
Any funny story?
Yes, I once accidentally ordered a very strange dish in a restaurant because I didn't understand the menu.
Let's learn how to ask about someone's past experiences.
Here are some natural questions.
Have you ever had a really memorable experience?
Opens up the conversation.
Have you ever traveled somewhere alone?
Specific and personal.
All of these are great for starting a conversation. And here's how to answer when someone asks about your experiences.
Short answers.
I once climbed a mountain. I'll never forget my trip to Japan.
Longer answers. Better for conversation.
I once climbed a mountain in Switzerland. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, but the view from the top was breathtaking.
I once got super scared when my car broke down in the middle of the night. It took an hour for help to arrive.
The key is to add details, how you felt, what you saw, what you learned.
Exactly. Details make a story come alive.
Let's do some real-life scenarios about past experiences.
Great idea. Scenario 1, talking to a friend about a travel memory.
What's the most memorable trip you've ever taken?
I'll never forget my trip to Iceland. We saw the northern lights. It was magical.
Wow, that's on my bucket list.
You have to go. It's unforgettable.
That's very natural.
Scenario 2, sharing a funny childhood memory.
Tell me about a funny memory from when you were a kid.
I once tried to make breakfast for my mom. I burned the toast and the kitchen filled with smoke.
That's so sweet, though.
She still teases me about it.
Scenario 3, talking about a proud moment.
What's something you've done that you're really proud of?
I once ran a marathon. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done.
That's amazing. How did you train?
I trained for 6 months. The most memorable moment was crossing the finish line.
Scenario 4, telling a story about a mistake.
Tell me about a time when you made a big mistake.
I once forgot my passport on the day of my flight. I had to reschedule everything.
Oh no, what happened?
I was so stressed, but in the end, I got a later flight.
Scenario 5, talking about a life-changing experience.
What's one experience that really changed you?
The most memorable moment of my life was when I moved to a new country alone. It taught me so much.
That must have been scary.
It was, but I grew so much because of it. Let's help our listeners avoid common mistakes when talking about past experiences.
Mistake number 1, I have been to Paris last year.
Wrong, I have been to Paris last year.
Right, I went to Paris last year, or I have been to Paris, no specific time.
Don't use present perfect with a specific past time.
Mistake number 2. I never forget that day.
Wrong, I never forget that day.
Right, I will never forget that day.
Or, I'll never forget that day.
Mistake number 3. I didn't went to the party.
Wrong, I didn't went to the party.
Right, I didn't go to the party.
After didn't, use the base form of the verb.
Mistake number 4. I once meet a famous singer.
Wrong, I once meet a famous singer.
Right, I once met a famous singer.
Use past tense for past actions.
Mistake number 5. The more memorable moment was.
Wrong, the more memorable moment was.
Right, the most memorable moment was.
Great corrections. Let's do interactive practice. I'll say a sentence with a blank.
Great idea. I'll go first.
Sentence 1. I, blank, climbed a mountain.
I once climbed a mountain.
Your turn, listeners.
Sentence 2. I'll never blank my graduation day.
I'll never forget my graduation day.
Sentence 3. The most blank moment was when I saw the sunset.
The most memorable moment was when I saw the sunset.
Sentence 4. First, I arrived. Blank, I took a taxi.
First, I arrived. Then I took a taxi.
Sentence 5. I blank a famous actor.
I once met a famous actor.
Sentence 6. I'll never blank, I got lost in Tokyo.
I'll never forget when I got lost in Tokyo.
See how easy that is? Practice these patterns.
Yes, say them 10 times each and record yourself. Let's give our listeners final tips.
Tip number 1. Start your story with I once or one time.
Tip number 2, use I'll never forget for very special memories.
Tip number 3. Use sequencing words first, then, after that, finally, to make your story clear.
Tip number 4, add details about how you felt. It makes your story more interesting.
Tip number 5. Remember to use past tense for past actions.
And here's your homework.
1. Think of a memorable experience from your life.
2, write down your story using I once and I'll never forget.
3. Write down 3 sequencing words you can use.
4, record yourself telling your story for 1 minute.
5. Listen to the recording. Circle any mistakes. Record again.
Do this every day for 1 week. Your confidence will grow.
I agree.
And that brings us to the end of another episode of EnglishNEst Podcast.
Today we talked about describing past experiences, I once, memorable moments, and storytelling.
Let's do a quick recap. I once climbed a mountain.
I'll never forget my graduation day.
The most memorable moment was when I saw the sunset.
First, I arrived. Then, I took a taxi.
I once met a famous actor.
Keep these in your pocket, everyone. Use them every time you want to share a story.
Now, before we go, we need to ask for your help.
We need you to like this video if you learned something new today.
Subscribe to EnglishNEst Podcast so you never miss an episode.
And share this with someone who has amazing stories to tell.
You can also follow us on Instagram at EnglishNEst.
Thank you for spending time with us today. You are amazing for working on your English.
Remember, every experience makes a story, and every story connects us.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
See you next time on EnglishNEst Podcast.